All righty. Well, here we go. Dealing with objections. Thank you for coming today. I'm so excited. This is a really good topic. I put objections over here. This is a really great topic for a lot of coaches, existing coaches, veteran coaches, coaches who have been in the business for a really long time. It doesn't matter. You're always going to be getting objections no matter what, because you are constantly adding to your network. You're constantly meeting new people. You're constantly trying to engage with people outside of, whether it be in person or outside of your Facebook contact list. Whatever it may be, you're always going to have objections because they're new to it and they haven't seen you in a while and they don't know you. So I actually borrowed a lot of what you're going to see from a top 10 coach, Bonnie Engel. And a lot of the things that she has done is something that I've already incorporated in my objections that I've learned over time. But I really like how she's very bold and just says it. But she says it in a very supportive, caring way. She says it coming from a very loving perspective because she knows the gift that we have to give to everybody. And if I didn't reach out to you and if my upline didn't reach out to me, then we wouldn't be where we are now, right? So that is first and foremost. So when we're doing stuff. I'm going to go over a lot of things that are going to the major hot buttons that we get as Beachbody coaches, but I'm also going to open it up at the end. So if you have any objections that maybe I have not gone over, or maybe there's something new that you've heard of or a different way of approaching it, I'm always more than open to hearing what you have to say and accepting feedback. So if I have feedback, that's how I grow. That's how we create unity, and that's how we grow together as a team. So obviously objections, no matter what you're doing, you're gonna get them. Whether it's in Beachbody coaching or not, it doesn't matter. So when you go into inviting, when you go into establishing their goals, and then while you're doing their goals, you find these objections, it's going to happen, right? And I deal with objections like every single day, and not just in coaching, but also outside of coaching. I deal with my husband. I deal with them with my kids constantly. I'm dealing it with people that I interact with outside, like when I go to the grocery store or whatever it may be. Like that can't happen. I always feel like there's a way for something to happen. Like if you come up to a roadblock, there's always a solution that you can do. There's always something that you can provide for someone to added value, whether you're compromising or you're going into a different direction, or you're tabling it and then you're coming up with a new idea. Whatever it may be, I always feel like there's a solution to something. So every time that I go into objections or into inviting, I'm always trying to figure out how can I help them? How can I provide a solution for them? How can I have them get over this roadblock, because I was at that roadblock before. So I always go back to when I first started, how it was for me, like having this perfect stranger come up to me and ask me like what's going on, about my goals and what I want to do, and they're forming me, So I always go back to that. And when I do that, I usually get really good results. Like what I want, how can I push me? So I always feel like the person that I'm talking to at the other end is me. Like how can I push the old me from a loving, caring, and supportive way to get to the other side, okay? So this is just, you've already gone through the forming, you've experienced in their goals. Sometimes you don't determine their goals. But as we go through these objections, you're going to find, oh yeah, I've had that before. So let's just get straight to the point, because this is going to be a long one. I will post the slides up in Team Beyond so you guys can have access to them, and you can just copy and paste those comments onto your notebook, and it will be that much easier for you to respond to people, right? Because a lot of times, you're working moms, you're working dads, working professionals, you have kids, you have busy schedules. So you're like, I'm saying the same thing over and over again, right? So don't feel like, oh, you're copying and pasting, but it's someone else's words. No, you're going to have to spend like half an hour, go through these comments, go through this list, and make it your own. Like that's something that I would say, but I'm going to put my story in, and you put it in there. So when you respond to people, you respond by copying and pasting it, and you review it. Obviously, reading is a lot faster than typing it, because you're already reviewing for edits versus typing, reviewing. Is that right? Did it come out right? No. You've already gotten it down, so you just copy and paste, review it, and send. It's super easy. So it will save you time. It saved me a lot of time. Because have you experienced that where you like start to say the same thing over and over and over again? Right? Because it's your story. It's just that you're talking to multiple people over and over again. Okay? So first thing, obviously, biggest issue ever in the entire world is price. Price is always an issue with people. So what we got to do is we got to break down the cost. And so when I first started, I wasn't really breaking down the cost. I was like, dude, this is a value to you. It's $140. It's on sale, right? But what was going on is that people weren't understanding what the numbers behind it was. They just know, yeah, it's on sale. Okay, great, $140. Wow, that's your sale price. That's pretty intense. So you have to break it down. So if they're like, oh, that's really expensive. Well, you know what? Well, you're in luck. This month, that program is on super special. It's $140 total for the sale bundle. So you're not using Challenge Pack. You're using their language. Because a lot of times you use your language in Beachbody terminology and lingo. They don't understand what it's called. So you really have to use their language. I had an example. It's so funny that it was a cartoon, and I'll digress for real quick. It was a cartoon that my kids were watching, and the girl, it's like a family of 10, and there are 9 girls and 1 brother, and the brother was teaching the older sister how to drive, but he was saying left turn signal, right turn signal, and she was like failing her driving test, right? So then he's like, oh my God, I wasn't talking Lizzie. I have to talk. Oh, turn the signal to your good side. She's like, oh, left turn signal. And then turn your signal to your bad side. Oh, right turn signal. Or, so he started talking to her in language that she would understand. So when you're talking to other coaches about Beachbody, the language just comes off and rolls off like butter, right? Off your tongue. But when you're talking to someone who's like brand new, you have to talk their language so they can understand you. If you talk Beachbody language, they will not understand you. So that's why I say sale bundle. That would include that workout program, meal plan, portion control containers, on-demand access. Everybody knows what on-demand access is. Free for 30 days. The challenge group, it's important to say the challenge group because that is free. Even though it's free, it's part of that sale bundle. One-on-one support, which is amazing. So all that is typically $119, right? Then you have Shakeology, our superfood shake that is part of the program for 30 days. It's important to say superfood shake in there. The name of Shakeology is just the name, but it doesn't tell you what it is. Okay, it's just a shake. You have to add value. It's a superfood shake that is part of the program for 30 days. Again, typically $130 for first-time buyers. And all signed up for your business for free. So if you're going to send them the coach fee, you put it in there. I like to introduce it immediately. Like I told all the other coaches, it's easier to sign up a customer as a coach because they don't have to go through the paperwork later on. And I hate paperwork, and I know everybody else hates paperwork as well. And by the time they sign in their reimbursement fee, they're like, it's just $40, but it's like, no, I'm here to take care of you. So let's do it all in one shot. So it's a huge deal and a huge savings. So once you break it down this way, then they're like, oh, it is a good sale, right? Like that's the workout program. And depending on what workout program you're doing, but typically it's around that price. And then your Shako, which is $130, and then your $40 fee, which is free. Or you can say wait, whatever you want. So break down the cost. I know when I look at sales. And I'm like, yeah, it's on sale. Like I remember my husband always laughs at me. He's like, when I come back from like the mall or something, he's like, what did you get? And I said, it was on sale. It was regularly this price and I got it for this. It's such a deal. He's like, you're such a sucker for sale. It was always on sale, but they just marked it up and discounted it. And I said, whatever. So anyways, I love sales. Everybody loves sales. Okay, price is an issue. Sounds great, but I don't have the money right now. Okay, here's what you do. A lot of times when we first started, we didn't have the money, or for me, it was like a budget issue. I was like paycheck to paycheck, and, sometimes I had a certain amount for savings, certain amount for this, certain amount for this, and really that extra fluff wasn't really there. So what I would do is I had to make those extra efforts in order to justify the cost of Shakeology and try it out, because I was at a point in my life where I just couldn't do it. I just had to do something, right? And I was like, you know what? I'll just try whatever. So that's what you tell them. You tell them your story. So I totally understand how you feel. I felt the same exact way when I first heard about coaching and programs. Don't know if you've already read my story, or oops, where'd it go? Why does it keep on working? Okay, don't know if you have read my story, and this is where you talk about your story. So what I just told you is what I would put right there. It said, I believed in the product because we know of Beachbody and saw other people's results. So I made a ton of sacrifices at first, cut down our grocery bill, no more out of the house purchases, cut my shopping. I was holding out to buy skinny clothes because I was like, I'm going to lose the weight, right? No more Starbucks. I had cafe latte shake, and I quickly earned the cost of Shakeology within whatever X amount of days, okay, months, or you work every month on paying your Shakeology, whatever it may be, right? And now I'm home with the kids. I'm running my business from home while focusing on helping others. I know it's scary. Trust me, I was there. But sometimes you just have to do something out of your own comfort zone in order to get new results. So that's something that I have been using, something that I know from my experience when I wanted to join a challenge group, or when I was introduced into challenge group and coaching, I was like, you know what the hell, what do I have to lose? I was at my wit's end personally. And that's where I was like, just do it. Just sign me up for everything. Let's go. So if your story is more like, oh, well, I was really curious about this whole coaching and I didn't really understand it. I thought it was pretty cool. So let me see. Then explain it to people and talk to them about it. This is all like private message. So go ahead and talk to them one-on-one. People love when you're vulnerable with them and they're like, oh, really? Oh, it's pretty cool. You're putting seeds and thoughts in their head that they didn't have before. Okay, how about this one? Worst case scenario. So this is when they say, at the, where did we go? Oh yeah, okay. Worst case scenario when price is an issue. And they come up with I need to talk to my husband about it. And a lot of times, let me tell you this, I've used this excuse so many times as my way out with my husband. Because I know when I make a certain purchase, my husband is then going to yell at me, or he'll be like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? What's the common sense with that? So I've always used my husband as my scapegoat. And people use their husbands as their scapegoat because they're insecure about the purchase, or they don't know, or that fear of the unknown getting to the next level, or they don't know how it's really going to impact them, or if they can commit to it. Maybe they failed before. So it's never about you personally. These objections are always about them. So it's just a matter of really drawing the drapes and letting them see that, hey, it's okay to step through and I've got your back. But they don't know that unless you really start to engage this trust with them and have these open conversations with them. So I say also, when I first started, I gave myself and my hubby a time limit. I said that if I didn't get Shakeology and his Shakeology paid for within 3 months, then I'd stop. If I didn't see results within my weight loss within 3 months, I would cancel my account free of charge. And the worst thing would happen is that I could speak from experience on what worked and what didn't work. I always tell my kiddos, try something new wholeheartedly with maximum effort. And if it doesn't work, well, you can speak to others of your experience with facts, not opinions. Not the worst thing, right? I love that, and this is something that I definitely tell my kids is they do. You know, whenever they have a piece of fruit or something weird like that dragon fruit that I had a while ago, they're like, oh my God, that's so disgusting. And I said, why is it disgusting? I don't know, it just looks disgusting. And I said, is it because it's different and new? Like, give it a try. And if you really, really, really give it a try, 100%, without like saying no from the time it hits your lips and you don't like it, then hey, you can speak from saying, no, I've tried dragon fruit. It's not my thing. Thank you very much. I don't like it. You know, it's super, super simple like that. Like I can't judge skydiving unless I've done it. I can base it on other people's opinions and make judgments on that, but that's what it is. It's just judgments and opinions. They're not true facts. I can make judgments and opinions based on facts from like Weight Watchers and Slim Fast and maybe like certain running shoes or running or the differences between an Android and an iPhone because I've had both, right? It just goes to your credibility as a coach and credibility as a person. Like, how do you want to live your life? Do you want to live your life with lots of opinions and no real concrete experience? Or do you want to have experience and like, hey, I lived that. I'd rather travel and say Spain is amazing and then go to Brazil and say Brazil is horrible, which it's probably not, but but I'd rather speak from experience than, you know, just like, oh no, never get there, never go there, never go there. I've heard of this and this. You know, so I love that. It's this part. Well, you can speak to others of your experience with facts, not opinions. Okay, the 30-day money-back guarantee. I don't think a lot of people really pull this very much, but I do. Especially when we're talking about price. Oh, trust me, I get it. Don't know if you have seen my story. Again, pulling them back to your story on Facebook. When you tell them that, you are forcing them to go, oh, well, I really don't know about her story. Let me go on her Facebook timeline and really look at it. Your Facebook timeline really is just that. It's a catalog of your story. It's a catalog of your successes, your wins, your struggles, your failures, whatever it may be. That's all it is. So when people go back onto your timeline, they're like, I want to see what she's talking about her story. You know, I want to see what she's saying. And if she's talking about this stuff openly, aside from just doing it privately. And that's something where we'll go into a little bit later, where start to open your Facebook timeline more of like you're answering other people's objections and struggles or roadblocks, and then showing how you're overcoming that. And those can be your own, or this can be somebody else's. I've started to use a lot of objections in my timeline, so that when people go to my timeline while I'm messaging them, they can see like, oh, this girl is really doing this. She's really talking about this sort of stuff, not just to me, but to like, she's open about it. She's okay with it. So it says, oh, trust me, I get it. Don't know if you've seen my story, but my husband and I were living paycheck to paycheck, barely staying afloat, and always feeling like catching up. Being on a budget and restricted is something I can speak about. But I also hit a breaking point. I knew it all started with my fitness, but there was something missing. And when my coach told me about the 30-day money-back guarantee, even if I drank the whole bag and loved the workout, that you can return it within 30 days and get all your money back. Well, that's how much we believe that our products actually work. That one's like, I need to fix that one. So sometimes I'll like copy and paste, and then I'm like, oh, damn, I messed up. So it happens, but just review it to make it your own. A lot of times people say, oh, I have like these like typos. And so, I know Bonnie Engel, she had said that she leaves her typos because if she's like actually typing, then you're going to mess up, right? So it's okay to have certain typos. okay. It's no big deal. It also shows that you're human. And if you're typing and you're talking to someone, sometimes you don't get it perfect. And I know when people are sending me stuff, they don't type perfectly either. Okay. Priorities and comparison. Okay. Yeah. A lot of people think it's a high cost up front, but actually it saved me money. Say what? I know. How can a shake save you money, right? Well, I was paying so much for useless fees at the gym and never went to it. I had no support, and because I didn't care about those tiny fees, they started piling up. I never committed until I invested $140 and really focused on working out a sweat to earn that bag of Shakeology. You bet your butt I was going to give it my all for 30 days. No doubt. I made it a priority. So this is like something that you can do when, like, depending on where. You can use it when you think you can use it, depending on your conversation and where you're going with it. This really helps with a lot of gym rats or a lot of people who have gym memberships and what have you. I had used it kind of when towards the end of a convo, when they're just like maybe like in a huge roadblock, and maybe I'll just use that at that point in time. I don't have time. This is huge. A lot of people are like, I don't have time. I was like, well, I didn't have time either, you know, and this is where you can actually relate to that and say, oh my gosh, I don't have time either. But you know what? You as coaches are making time in order to work out, in order to take care of yourself. So if you can do it, they can do it. If you are struggling with it, they're going to struggle with it too, but they're going to do it too. And they are doing it too. So you just talk to them and say, I felt the same way. When I first started, I was actually working a full-time job with 40 to 50 hours a week at a minimum and would bring work home. Don't even get me started on the commute. 2 to 2.5 hours daily in bumper to bumper traffic. By the time I picked up the kids and got home, it was 7 p.m. and I was quick to make dinner, have the kids take a shower, and then off to bed. Whew. Are you exhausted already? I was. That's why I needed Shakeology in my life. It gave me the energy I so desperately needed to make sure I stayed awake for homework and my own hubby time after the kids went to bed. But I knew that this had to work. So I worked around my day. I woke up an additional 45 minutes each day and worked out. I would call people on my way to work, listen to podcasts instead of the radio, and in line or don't tell my old boss, go ahead, tell him. I would message people during meetings. Yikes. Over time, Shakeology was paid for, and now I'm home with the kiddos. Fun. Okay, so it's true life. It's completely raw. This is exactly what I did. This is exactly my story. I've said it a couple of times on social media, and I have to get, it's just about total repetition all the time. I don't have time. We have a training for that. How many times have we talked about time management or have videos on time management and resources? This is a common misconception that it takes a ton of time to build a business, get a workout in. We have tons of coaches and challengers on the team that work full-time jobs, are moms of 4 to 5 kids and a spouse. Yikes. Some do it all alone as their military spouse is gone. Wowzers. Some do it from a different country. Wow. We have documents on how to have your most effective power hour. Plus, I doubt you are Speedy Gonzalez moving at 1,000 miles an hour. Okay, maybe you are like me. We have so many examples of how women choose their time. And for me, I would much rather spend that extra hour doing something good for my family rather than surfing the web or watching mindless TV or the news. Don't get me started on that. Yikes. So this is talking about I don't have time. Not everyone is back to back on stuff, right? There's always pockets of time where they can be using it effectively and efficiently. I am totally key on using that efficiently. You can, there was a call on the Beachbody Champions page that said, hey, you know what? You break it up. You can break up your power hour. We've learned to break up our power hour. We can teach our new coaches how to do that as well. I don't have time. Again, our workouts are designed for that. Do you think you have 30 minutes a day? That's all you really need for an effective workout. I know, crazy, right? Don't worry. I said the same thing. Heck, you can do it in 10 minutes if you wanted to. I mean, look at some of our 10-minute trainer testimonials. Like, amazing. 10 minutes, 4 weeks, 10 pounds gone. Awesome. Mind blown. I used to run on the treadmill for 30 to 40 minutes, use the workout machines whenever I did decide to go to the gym, and not more than 5 pounds were lost. I lost 30 pounds in just 4 months with 25 to 30-minute workouts. At that time, I was doing like T25 and Insanity. Yikes. Besides the hassle and chaos and getting home and figuring out a babysitter, getting my clothes ready to go to the gym, and then realizing I forgot the gym locker lock, which I always did. I would get so frustrated that I would just want to go home and call it a day. What a hassle. With my DVD workouts, I don't have to worry about traffic, babysitting, forgetting my lock, towel, or heaven forgive my shoe. Yes, I've done that. I can just push play and work out in my undies if I want to. Haha, I promise I won't post it. LOL. So just have fun with it, right? Like, how many times have you worked out in your pajamas? I've worked out in my bathing suit. Like, you don't have to worry about it. It's just like, huh?
Barefoot.
Yeah, barefoot. I work out barefoot all the time, and I don't have to worry about stinky germs, except my own family germs, in which I clean it after. But I mean, so be truly authentic and open and share your story. Everything that I have said is nothing about like convincing them about what they can do to incorporate into their life and how I can fix their life to fit into the program. No, it's just sharing what I have done, what works for me, what works for the team, because not everything that I have said is my personal thing. It's also things within the team, right? So like if other people can do it, then another person can do it and we can duplicate it. So it's really just sharing the whole Beachbody experience, the whole, your whole story in your journey. And I haven't really mentioned workouts in DVD names or anything like that, right? I did use Shakeology and the superfood. Other than that, really nothing regarding Beachbody, nothing like that. It was just about me and my personal story or the team. Integrity. Oh, here's my favorite part. Do I have to get the shake? Honestly, I have seen, for me, that having the shake is like a no-brainer. Like if you're in the challenge group for me, if you're in Fabulous, that's fine. But if you're in the challenge group and you're committed for 21 days, 30 days, whatever it may be, having Shakeology is like an absolute. It's if you're not ready for Shakeology right now, that's totally fine. We'll wait for you for later, and I'll keep following up with you. But honestly, the two combined is what made my results come to life. And I can't coach. It's not that I can't coach somebody else. It's just that they're not going to get the same results that everybody else is going to get if they're fully committed with it, right? So what I say is, well, if you are going to build a successful business, this is for a coach. Yes, heck yeah. How can you talk to people about a superfood, delicious, nutritious, and energy-boosting shake? Say that 3 times. I'm going to put that in there. Without experiencing it firsthand. Being a product of the product is part of our integrity and keeps us honest and credible. You wouldn't recommend a nail salon or restaurant if you've never been there, right? You might spread the word, but you wouldn't say, oh, you have to go to that restaurant. It's the most amazing food, because then people wouldn't think of you as credible, even for little things like that. Do I have to get the best results? This is the best results challenge group 1. Well, it's part of the program, and the only way I can guarantee you results is if you agree to the shake as well. Many people don't know that the biggest part of fitness and weight loss is what you put into your body and the changes your body goes through while you are working out. The best results happen when you do both. Fuel your body properly and work out. And since I can't come to your house and make sure you are eating all your containers, At least I know once a day you're getting all these nutrients. Think about it. You won't brush half your teeth and expect the same results as someone who brushes their whole mouth, would you? I like that analogy, but I think I'm going to use a different one. So using analogies really help, and like, you know, like think about it. Like, would you do this half-ass or would you do it full-ass? Like, you know what I mean? I got to think of more. Would you take a shower and not wash your hair?
I personally wouldn't.
I wouldn't either.
There's a lot of people that do.
Well, there's days where I don't wash my hair every day, but okay, would you take a full, wet your entire body, but not soak up? Not lather. Yuck. No, you wouldn't. So you wouldn't do it halfway. You do it everything, and that's personal hygiene. Right. And so shake is like a personal hygiene thing. The best deal. In fact, it's a way better deal with Shakeology, and this is my favorite one. I hate to see people talk themselves out of it because I know every penny counts. I can almost tell you, in fact, you will want to get Shakeology after going through the challenge and seeing everyone's results. And the workout itself, Deluxe is $119 for customers, and Shakeology alone is $130. For customers, $25 off for coaches, but you get the entire program, challenge containers, meal plans for only $10 more with the challenge packs. It's basically a no-brainer. Insert the cost comparison of Shakeology on the coach and the workout that is on Team Beyond. It's not the Shake Go coach versus customer. It's the challenge pack without a workout DVD and with Shakeology. The breastfeeding one, you know, obviously I always tell them, you know, you should consult your doctor before trying something new. I'm not a medical professional. You know, that's your baby. Like, you should always be asking questions. But, I mean, at the same time, we've seen coaches who have gone to their doctor, gotten approval. The doctor's like, go ahead, drink it. Drink it while you're pregnant. Drink it while you're breastfeeding. Drink it all the time. They approve, but that's their story, not mine. We'll always take care of you first. Okay. I wouldn't be a good coach. All the time I get this one, nonstop, left, right, like crazy. I'm not my goal weight. Actually, that is so much better. Coaching isn't about showing people that, coaching is about showing people that you are a normal, everyday person who is on a journey to become fitter, healthier, and better. Not that you are perfect. No one relates to perfection. People relate way more to a journey, not already being there. A very common misconception. There's great coaches you can see in 18 who are already like just on their journey and their business is booming. It's because they're starting off. I'm not a salesperson. Great, neither am I. I don't like to be a salesperson, and if you think I'm a salesperson, then you need to give me feedback. I always say, you think I'm a salesperson? Then tell me how I'm being a salesperson. Someone once told me, oh, wow, you're really good at this. And I said, really good at what? And they said, that's a really good angle. And I said, I'm not trying. I was like confused. I was like, really, this isn't an angle. This is like what I'm doing. She's like, well, I'm very impressed. You're doing a great job. And so I was like, okay. I thought I took offense to it. I was like, wait, do I really sound salesy? What's going on? She's like, no, I really like your points. I think it's really great. You're doing a great job. I said, oh, okay. Because, and if she was going to tell me like, no, you're being totally salesy, then I want to know. Like, I'd rather have one person tell me that so it can open up my eyes so that I can adjust and then keep talking to people versus not knowing ever and then shooing everybody away, you know? So you got to be open to it. I'm open to it. It's hard, but I'm open. So that's why I started asking feedback from people that it wouldn't hurt first. And then I felt more comfortable talking to people and asking for feedback from strangers or people that don't know me very well. Oh yeah, we have tons of training on how to not be salesy. We are a company based on peer-to-peer experience, just like the rest of the world today. We share our experiences with others and hope to inspire them to get started on what has helped us. We don't stop. Do I have to get the shake again? I don't have a big market and I'm from a small town. That has nothing to do with it. We are entirely online based. You could be anywhere in the world and work this business. Fitness and health is the biggest industry in America, and so it's convenient. And so is convenience. We bring the two together in your home with one solution. We have tons of trainings on how to reach the 3 billion people in America who are looking for the solution, for that solution. All of them being on social media. When I first started, I did have about 300 friends on Facebook and rarely talked to them and barely posted. I was called a creeper. Okay, this is where the fun stuff comes, like where you don't have objections, but like you send them messages and then they don't read them. How many people go through that? Okay, ask for feedback. Hey girl, I see you. You need to tell them, I see that you read my message. Don't think I don't see that. Like, I know. Like, if you don't want to do this, then tell me so I can cross you off my list. I don't have to stress out about you, right? No. I see you read my messages and haven't responded. You were so, and this is great. You were so excited, and I'm so sorry if I made you feel like you couldn't talk to me about your doubts about the program. That is never my intention. Right? How many times do we always say that? Why don't they just talk to me about it? Why don't they just tell me and like we can talk about it? How many times do we tell ourselves that? But we never tell them. Or how many times do we tell other coaches in our upline, but we never tell them, the people who it's like most important to, right? So do it. Tell them. Ask them. I would love to get you started, but totally understand it's not for everyone. I would love some feedback though. If you could let me know how I could have explained it better or answered your questions more clearly, I would love to know. I talk to people all day long about making this decision, so I would love to communicate it better. Thank you. Super easy. Again, it's better to get feedback from one person and adjust than never to have any feedback, and then you're never going to get a yes, right? Relate to their why. Okay. Hey, love, so you haven't signed up yet. Just wondering if you knew I was holding a spot for you. That's a really good one, right? You're like, oh, I didn't know you're holding a spot for me. I was so inspired by the way you wanted to build this business for your little ones or whatever it may be, or signing up for a challenge group while spending time by their side every day. That is a mission a ton of my coaches are working towards. So you can adjust this for challengers or coaches. So that spot is still there for you if you want it. Help me with my goal. Hey, love. This is one where I haven't used, but I know Bonnie uses, so it's something that it's new for me, and I don't know how I feel about it, but I'm going to give it a try and see what happens. Hey, love, I see you still haven't clicked on the link yet. I know you are super busy. We all are. It takes about 3 seconds, and I would love to get you in the group ASAP. I'm also working towards a huge major goal on my team, and you would really help me with that. Let me know. I can see when you read these, hee hee, LOL. So a lot of people do this one. I know a lot of people who have sold things to me in the past really do that one. And I'm like, oh, well, you know, what it shows is that, look, I'm here, I'm trying to, help you in this. It's something that you want. There's a level of urgency for me. Can you help me out like I'm trying to help you out? So there's a reciprocity going on, right? Like, I know you want this, but can you help me out now versus later? So that's what it is. Referrals. I love referrals. All right, love. Guessing this just wasn't for you. No biggie. Was wondering, since you were all about it, if you and your friends or family would be interested. So instead, since she was interested and she was all about it and excited, maybe somebody else is excited and wants to do it. And if that happens, then maybe she will then jump in. So you never know, right? Ask for the follow-up. always, always ask. I never, 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 ever, ever say, let me know when you're ready, because they will never let you know. It's not their priority, it's yours. So you say, either set up a time for them and give them 2 options. If they have those 2 options, guess what option they have to pick? They have to pick one. So, or they have to readjust, or they'll give you another one. Oh, I can't work. I'm working those times. Okay, how does this and this time work? Oh, this time will work better. Okay, sounds great. So they have options. Hey, love, guessing you never found the time to click on the link, and this is just not your month. Totally understandable. I would love to follow up with you next month to see if your funds are in better order. Stay away from Starbucks. Here we go. What you're saying here is that you're assuming that it's a cost issue or price issue because they haven't talked to you and they went silent, right? So what you're saying is, oh, this has to be, you're just leading them into it, and they may be like, no, it wasn't because of that. I'm totally ready. Or maybe it is that, and maybe they say, yeah, next month is going to be good. But what you're doing is like you're based on what we've seen as objections. Usually it's price, right, or time, and time is just a function of not willing to put up the price for it, put up the cost for it. So typically that will help you guide them to respond to you. If you no, it's not that, or yes, that's great, next month is a perfect time. Again, you're giving them options as far as how to respond to you. I don't understand social media, and I don't want to post on Facebook. New coaches always hate to post on Facebook. Where I grew up, Facebook was for posting dumb pictures of cats, stalking your family, and spreading rumors or judgments. If I saw you doing this, but you don't have time for that, blah, 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 blah. But then when I found out that I could run an over 6-figure a year business from my home on Facebook instead of having it to be a source of time wasting and gossip, well, I was really pleased. I would much rather change my family's life than mindlessly scroll on some random device. So I never went on Facebook because I was the stalker. I was just like browsing and looking because I was like, what's the point of it? Like, people should be using social media for something positive and impactful to others, not like mindless stuff. Like, who cares about stupid cat? And for me, I always tell my kids when they start looking on Facebook or YouTube or something like that, I said, instead of you looking at stuff, why don't you go and create something? That's much more powerful than you're just like browsing and not doing anything. So when I was like, oh my God, I can do this with social media and Facebook, I was like, finally, something that I can use it for something productive, right? Okay, so what will my friends think? This is another one. I haven't come up with this as far as what my friends think, but I've seen a lot of people, new coaches, do that. And some of the new Hawaiian girls have actually come up with this. So I thought it was really important to put it in here. Actually, I was super scared of this at first too. I'm more so scared of it now, where it's not necessarily scared, but it's like a concern that's come up in my mind, like, oh my God, what if my friends are thinking about this, right? But then I realized the opinions of my friends, as long as I am not doing anything wrong, means very little. I mean, are their opinions going to further my life, my career, my bank account, get me out of debt? And any friends that would really talk about me behind my back about a Facebook post really aren't my friends that I would like to have anyway. In fact, what my posting has actually done is attracted my friends and be like, wow, I'm so glad that you're doing that, or you're up to really great things. That's amazing. I could never do that. And then that opens up the door for other conversations. Social media is the future. Okay, so I haven't built a 6-figure business from Facebook alone, but I will. So, but here you can say, like, I can have the potential to build a 6-figure business from Facebook alone on my couch, and then insert, and I will. But if you think about it, our entire society gets their news, articles, product reviews, hotel reviews, car reviews from their choice of social media. You would be silly not to take advantage of it. Okay, so these excuses are, again, asking the husband, I'm an introvert, a bunch of other stuff. So the husband is a really good one. My husband didn't know that I bought Shakeology, and I just bought it, and I was like, well, it's for me, so I wouldn't tell him if I bought a dress. I'm not going to do it. Again, it's the excuse, it's about them and not about you. So I said, I've had this come up, and with one customer, she really did talk to her husband, and her husband's like, yeah, we can manage it, we can budget it, go for it, do it. And he was really supportive, and I was like, wow, that's pretty amazing, because my husband would have given me like so much resistance to it. So I used this one with him. I said, that's great that he's super supportive and you guys communicate with each other. And I told her, I said, I honestly bought my first Shakeology bag behind my husband's back. And then I did tell her about the earning capabilities of Shakeology, and if she wanted to, she can cancel free of charge, no questions asked. And she was like, that's amazing. That's a great feature and a great product. So it was pretty awesome. I really love that outcome. I said, I'm an introvert, and oh my God, some of the best top 10 coaches are actually all introverts. All of them. Actually, 6 out of the 10 coaches are very private, introverted people. That has very little bearing on success. It actually makes you better. It makes you makes you more intimate. That sentence is all chopped up. Connecting to a connecting kind of coach. So what happens with introverts? They hide behind like something, right? So like it's either introverts are typically like they dress really nicely, or they express themselves through a different form or a different platform, right? Either through their dress or arts or music, or intelligent. So this is just like that platform, but it's on social media. So it's really great for introverts, I think, because you really don't have to talk to people. and you can be like, I need a timeout. I already drank another protein shake. I have been coming up with this one like crazy. I said, that is perfect. And it would be a great objection. And you honestly just tell them that. It's a great objection if Shakeology was a protein shake. Actually, it's a superfood, nutritious, nutrient-based drink. That's what it is. And a lot of people really do confuse it with a protein because it has a higher level of protein in comparison and is comparable to other protein shakes out there. It has things that you could never even get at some of the most advanced health food stores, let alone afford, and then figure out how to make it. How to make it. I would also be super careful about what protein shake you're drinking. A lot from GNC, Walmart, Target, etc. have some pretty scary bonding agents in them that are known to cause disease. You get what you pay for. I found a bunch of them on Google, and to my surprise, all of them were in the clean protein shake my husband was drinking from GNC. Not to mention, it also does the job of a protein shake, a natural juice, and multivitamin. So you can replace all of those with peace of mind. I know my husband was drinking like Hydroxycut, and I was like scared of those things. I said, I don't want that stuff in my body. Like, I read the label. I couldn't even pronounce the stuff. It's not because it was from a different language. Like Shakeology has some ingredients that are from a different culture, like ashwagandha. But this was like scientific, like I can't read type of thing, not like different language type of stuff. Okay. This is a super funny one, and I've had that. But why do I have to pay for the $15.95 per month? Right? It's like, if you're talking to a coach, you say, it's a blessing. This is actually what a business owner's dream. It's for Beachbody to take care of all your back office stuff, shipping and handling, customer service, phone lines, returns, direct deposit, all that stuff. You would have to outsource yourself if you were starting this on your own for actually a lot more. A small price to pay for the earning potential that there is and all the problems it handles. So one of the things that I also want to say here is this is more so for like a coaching. For a challenger and a discount coach, you can use, this is where you use the coach versus a customer comparison, and how I really love that chart, and it really helps people understand, oh yeah, even though I have to pay that membership fee, in the end, the bottom line, it's still the same. So I really like that. Here, another thing to note for a coaching perspective, from a coaching perspective, is that you can focus on helping people versus managing your business. And a lot of times when you're opening up a new business, you're so focused on the mechanics of it, and you separate yourself and lose yourself from what your first purpose of opening up a new business was. And that's why businesses fail within the first 6 months. So those are the objections that I've encountered, and how I've made sense of them, along with a lot of these are from Bonnie Engel that I love and I've used. So we'll see how they turn out. I would encourage you to go ahead and just copy and paste them and put them onto your notepad. I'll put them in a Word document so I'll put them in a long post so you can just like copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, and do like in a tab, say price issue, and then you have your one note that has price issue, and another one that has time and time. And then as you go, I would recommend that you copy and paste your own responses. So say, for instance, you're using a new response, copy and paste that new response. It really helps to save time, to save your mental energy, so that you can really focus on your challengers and really focus on getting them results in your new coaches. Do you have any other price objections that I did not address here that you need some support with?
I think there's been a coach that had Shakeology for 6 months, and then I don't know. I get really scared when you see they haven't paid. I don't know if it's because maybe they changed their credit card or what, but I don't know how to approach that, and I'm wondering if it's like they decide they don't want it anymore, how to approach.
So you're saying a coach that has become inactive?
It looks like they're going to become inactive.
Oh, then I would say like, hey, I know you love Shakeology, and I know that and I see that it's showing up in inactive on my system. I want, just say it like you said, I don't know if you have changed your credit card or you need to update your credit card, but I would hate for your Shakeology to miss a shipment and for you to lose your momentum that you already have in your weight loss,
Okay.
or in your fitness journey.
Okay.
Because, or and tell them, like, I hate when my shipment is delayed and I don't have Shako for the next day and I'm worried about it. I don't want you to be in the same situation as I don't want that same situation to happen to you.
Okay.
So be completely honest. You're just like, okay, how is this going to affect this person?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's either one, maybe they did change their credit card and they haven't updated it, and by you helping them out, it's going to be like, oh, thank God, I almost forgot. Or it could be like, no, I'm just letting it lapse, but you're giving them feedback and saying, you've had such great momentum. This is, it's helping you with your foundation in your health and nutrition. And it helps them to second guess, like, what are their choices that they're doing.
Okay.
If I'm just like totally honest with them. Honestly, I'm just totally honest with them. I've had coach cancellations coming up, and I texted them and I said, hey, you know what? I got a notification that your coach account is going to be deactivated, and I would hate for you to lose not only the discount on your Shakeology, but also your placement in your coach placement in the business.
Mm-hmm.
and then they're like, oh, what are you talking about the business? I don't understand what's going on. Well, did you know that you can earn your shake for free? And so then I start talking to them about that. Or they start opening up to me like, you know what, I think it's too expensive. And I said, oh, well, I never thought that you were interested in earning your shake for free. You expressed to me that you didn't, but we can definitely put you on that plan. Is that something that you want to pursue?
Okay.
So you always have opportunities to even open it up, because if you ask them at the beginning, then you know where they stand, right? But that's also, if they're saying, no, I just want the discount, then you're like, okay, fine, that's great. But then the following month, you're always asking them or inviting them to something so that they can make their decision, right? Because they're like, oh my God, well, I've loved Shakeology for so long. Why aren't I helping other people doing it? You know?
Right.
Like, it's helping them. It's helping me. Why can't it help other people? So sometimes they just need to like soak in it for a little while. But if you're constantly like bringing it up, right, then if their account goes inactive, that's when you can bring it up again and say, hey, I would hate for you to lose your spot in your placement. You have a really good spot. And then it opens up a conversation for them to have with you about the business.
Okay. Perfect.
Any other questions?
I don't usually get any objections about the shake, like on the initial challenge pack. So it's good to have them there in case I do. It's mostly like price or time.
I get
those were some good ones that you
Good. So with price and time, use these and then write your own too. Like, what were your obstacles with regards to price and time? Because typically the objections that we get are kind of a reflection of like our own struggles. So if price and time were an obstacle, then write it down, right? I mean, you're not perfect. Nobody says you're perfect, and it's not going to be perfect, but write down what you're doing to overcome them, right? And how you overcame them. And, you know, no one's perfect. Everyone goes up and down, up and down, up and down. But you manage them, right?
Right.
So use those. It really helps out. That's how I use mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to stop recording. I hope everyone enjoys it. The slides are going to be up, and you can copy and paste them and put it in your notepad.
Thank you.